Hello, welcome back to another haptic feedback interview with me, your host, Devontae Bird. Today, if you're tuned in, you're here to see the sit down with DavidTheTragic, who's coming off the release of his album Lower Self last month in October. You guys really liked the interview for him for Still Alive that came last year. And that really honestly set the tone for me and his dynamic growing over time. We like play basketball together and stuff. So hopefully you guys will enjoy this sit down as well. Really good project, solid all around. I got to hear a lot of the songs kind of early, so it was cool. This was the first time I got to see a project like come together behind the scenes and then get released to the public. So I got to kind of participate in the rollout in that way where I just got to observe. And so that was really cool. That was like a milestone for me personally. So hope you guys enjoy this interview. Hope you guys checked out some of the previous ones with Jawara, Ace. We got, trying to remember everybody, Trill. Just have a lot of stuff with a lot of people. We're still doing the weekly playlist on Apple Music, so that's good. Hope you guys are enjoying those songs. It's usually just the stuff I'm listening to in a given week, and I'll try to put it together into something a little cohesive. Might add a song here or there, take away from what I've been listening to, just so it makes sense together. We are doing basketball list. Hopefully you guys are looking forward to that. There should be something up in relation to that on our Instagram, so tune into that as well. And without further ado, hope you guys enjoy. Yo, what's up? Welcome back to another Haptic Feedback interview. I'm your host, Devontae Bird, and today I got a special guest, DavidTheTragic, in the building. How you doing, bro?
Shit, I'm living.
That's cool. That's cool. So you're coming off the release of your tape, Lower Self. Congratulations on that.
Thanks, big bro.
For sure. Another one in the holster, another good project coming up, hopefully. So we interviewed last year for Still Alive, and it kind of was
I kind of forgot about that shit. Yeah, you spitting.
Yeah.
That was like last year, similar times.
Yeah, high key. It was about, about a year from today, basically. That's crazy. I ain't do that on purpose. But yeah, so
I know you do that shit on purpose.
Congrats on the album, and I'm glad I got to hear it like kind of early. You were like one of the first people who sent me a project before it was out.
Yeah, you got to see it get molded too.
Yeah, no, I saw I have a lot of life
a lot
forms.
of different things.
Yeah, different sequencing and stuff. So I would just like click it every like week or so.
Different
and be
records
like, what's,
too,
what's,
though. Like,
yeah,
a whole
no,
different
some
situation.
stuff got cut that I really like.
Hell,
actually like.
I know you like that shit. Yeah, I cut all that shit on God.
Yeah. So yeah. So I am grateful I got to see it grow. That was a unique experience for me. And so you got to show me some of the songs like right after the Still Alive interview. And so did you know that the tape was going to be more or less this, like right then, or like how far into making Still Alive were you working on Lower Self?
I think, if I remember correctly, I was working on Lower Self before Still Alive because I was working on Still Alive for a while, probably like a year and a half. So I had an idea what it would look like before it even really came out. It turned into Still Alive turned into a few different things as well. So as Lower Self did.
Right.
Lower Self initially, my initial goal was to drop 2 5-track EPs.
Okay.
And that's why it looked like that at first.
Oh,
so it was
okay,
a 5-track.
okay.
I wanted to drop like something up-tempo and then something sad. But I ended up just mashing that together and making a 10-track like mixtape. You know what I mean?
No, that makes
With
sense.
Lit and, you
Yeah,
know,
A
like,
side, B side.
exactly. Yeah, facts. So like that, I feel like that's what happened. I didn't know where it was going back then. I definitely had a different like direction for it. I think I just chose like what felt right. A lot of the music on Lower Self was made like this year, honestly. Like honestly, in the 4 or 5 months before it coming out. Like I made Out of Time in like July, August.
Yeah.
I made Drugs in like February. Now She Lit. I made literally like high key like in August.
No, it was late. I was literally.
Yeah.
No, I gotta
That's
share.
why I told you go listen to that. I told you go listen to that.
It was like I clicked it and I was like, listening to. I'm expecting the sequencing to be more or less the same, so I just click it. I don't even like look at the list beforehand. So I just turn it on. I'm like doing something else, like washing dishes or some other mundane task, and it just coming. And I was like, oh wait, hold up. Yeah, I was like, whoa, that's crazy. So, why did you go with the title Lower Self for the project?
I felt like it was an embodiment of like me, if that makes sense. So I feel like if you like people that know me in real life know like I'm really tapped in with the negative sides of life, the darker sides. You know what I mean? Like not like no pun intended. My name is DavidTheTragic. So like like I feel like it was me just leaning into that. And I feel like a lot of people kind of move away from the shit that makes them feel, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's the darker sides of themselves. They kind of avoid them or like act like they don't exist. But I kind of just, that's all I really live in. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I feel like that was a good title to express myself with because it is me. Like, I am that. You know what I mean? Like, lower self, that's Satan. Higher self, that's God. So, like, that's kind of like where I was at with it. Like, just trying to express that who I am is, like, who everybody is, honestly, is more than just, like, the good shit. It's also the other shit, too. You know what I mean? I probably lean into the bad shit too much, being honest.
Yeah.
But, like, I feel like it's something, like, in order to progress, you have to accept, like, your darker
all the
side.
parts of yourself.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then that's what was on point. And also, like, it's like a double entendre as well. Because, like, the project has an A side and a B side. So, lower, the A side is literally, like, up-tempo, ignorant, fucking bass heavy. You know what I mean? Right. And then self, if you listen to the second 5 songs, is a lot more in line with what I put out. Not necessarily, it don't sound like what I put out before, but a lot more the same feeling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Slower, acoustic, intentional, wordy. You know what I mean? Like,
right. No,
facts.
for sure.
And that's really what happened here.
No, that makes perfect sense. And so it has a crazy cover art. And like that I saw like late into the process as well. And so how did that come about?
Well, I knew Maddie was gonna do it because I've known Maddie low-key like 10 years. And I know Maddie. I met Maddie when I was like 14.
Oh wow.
I'm 23. Yeah. So like, I knew she was gonna do it. She's just still alive. I just knew it had to be something crazy. I actually, for the first time, I came up with an idea. I drafted a demo version of what I wanted to look like. Don't look shit like what it came out. But like, I knew I wanted it to look like a quilt. So I did a sketch, and I was like, I want every like piece to be a different emotion, and that's kind of what the cover represents. Like all the aspects of my demented mind. So like that's kind of what it is. Yeah,
that's fine. I like the one in the top right hand corner with the hand.
Yeah, that shit's hard. Yeah. I've never done an animated cover either, so I just wanted to step out of my comfort zone too.
Right.
So that's kind of what went down. But like, yeah, shout out. So like, she went stupid.
No, that shit's fine. And so you did a show in New York shortly after the release to kind of like bring in the tape. Yeah. And so, you did the show with a lot of people you've been grinding with for like a long time. Yeah. So what was that moment like to not only celebrate the release of a project and a birthday, but to also bring it in with these people that you've been like around and working with for years?
Honestly, it was the biggest high of my life. It was the best night of my life. Not because like, well, hella people came. I didn't expect that, but not because it was like packed out line behind the door, but just like It was genuine. And everybody there, like everybody, it just made sense. And I feel like everybody I put on the show, like I genuinely believed in. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Like literally. So like just to be able to be in a position to give my friends an opportunity to even perform in New York, because not everybody can, get booked out there. So like just being able to give people opportunity, but also like not just doing it to do that, doing it because it makes sense. And if you was there, like I feel like it was a perfect show, like from like top to bottom. Like I think everybody did amazing, and like it just felt like family. Like even people hit me up after, like, yo, this was like it felt like a family affair, and I was like, that's exactly what this shit was. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So it definitely it was amazing, and I got to do Out of Time with Bobby in real time on when he played guitar and shit, and that shit. I don't know. It felt so good, bro. Like I definitely wanted to cry. I didn't.
No, it looked nice on Instagram. I want them to think I was not gonna lie.
But yeah, I definitely wanted to cry out there. I ain't gonna lie, because I was like, what the fuck?
No, that's fine. And so I guess doubling back to when you started rolling out the singles, you started with Drugs. And that was the first song you let me hear as well, like after the Still Alive interview. And you kind of were like really excited about it even back then. So did you always kind of know like this is the one that I want to kick it off with? Or
I mean, I'm the type of nigga, like I'm very self-aware. So like I know what people want to hear. Yeah. And I know when I make that. So I knew that's what that was. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Like when you were finished making it, you were like, okay.
Because like works. I had an idea what my project looked like when I seen you last year, but at the same time, I knew I had to make. I work off pressure, so I just apply a lot of pressure to myself. Like I know I have to make better. Like I know I have to make a certain record, and like Drugs was that the embodiment of that. I got a beat, from Kobe, your friend Cammy. I pitched that shit up, and I was like, okay, I gotta make like good song. You know what I mean? I got faded, and I was like, I gotta make good song, and I actually did, and I was like, damn, good song was made. You know what I mean? Like, facts. So like, I knew about that one. Honestly, most of the tape came together like so like last minute, not in a bad way, but like I'm usually more intentional. Like I'm usually sitting on songs longer, but with Lower Self, it was all a lot more current, and I feel like that's why it's translating better in my opinion.
Yeah,
because the music was just actually relative to the time I was in. It sounded like the past. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
Like the oldest song on there is Nonchalant. That came out in 2020. Well, I made that in the end of 2020.
Okay.
That's the oldest song on there. Like besides that, everything is made in the past like at least like 11 or 12 months.
Oh, that's fine.
Facts, yeah.
And so I asked Cam this during our interview just because I feel like it's very relevant. I like to hear people's perspective about it. But I asked him when in his life did the stigma of drugs like shift from, you know, what they kind of teach you in elementary school where it's like, drugs are bad, you need to relax, like don't do that, it's terrible, to like, okay, I can fuck around with this, I just know like not to go too far, or I know like to balance with like, you know, you're pretty athletic, like you hoop and shit, like you don't just like waste away on the couch somewhere, you know, all day.
I guess I do other shit too.
Yeah, so when did it kind of turn into, you know, like, okay, I get it now, but it's like not
honestly,
like
when I started doing crazy shit.
What did that mean?
Well, like when I started experimenting with like psychedelics and shit, I was like, okay, like, I don't know. I honestly never really had a true stigma to drugs. I just never thought I would be doing drugs for real.
Yeah.
Until I was doing them. And then once I was doing them, I was like, okay, this is why niggas do drugs. Yeah. And that's it. Yeah. Honestly. Yeah.
No, that makes sense. All right. So after that, you followed up drugs with 19. And so if someone was just discovering you for drugs, right? And then 19 comes next, they would kind of be like, whoa, okay, this is, like, I didn't think this was the kind of artist I was signing up for. So was it like kind of intentional to shake people up, or did it kind of just, you know, was it just the next single for in your mind?
Well, in both. So like the project has an A side and a B side, so I want to let it sing off of each side. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like naturally, well, I feel like historically I've been a very versatile act. So like making a song like Drugs, you also put yourself in a spot to be like perceived in that way, like you're expressing. So that was a counter. You know what I mean? I want to put a song out that was a counter to Drugs, like, you know what I mean? Where it'd be like, okay, like this song, slow guitar, nigga singing, like, you know what I mean? It's not what the other one is. You know what I mean? Just to let niggas know, like, it's probably not gonna sound like what you think it's gonna sound like.
Yeah, don't pigeonhole me type shit.
Yeah, or don't have an expectation for me.
Yeah,
that was kind of what that statement was. Yeah.
No, for sure. And so, you know, it got a little sketch in the beginning. You did a little acting, kinda, sorta, little acting. When? What did you say? In the intro, you know, you passing the note, or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Would you ever consider doing like some acting in the future? I
mean, I've done a lot of acting via music video. I used to want to be an actor, but then like, I don't know, I guess doing these bigger videos, I realized like doing Dip, doing 3G, like, I don't think I got it. Like being on set 15 hours a day, I don't know if I can do it. Like being honest with you, I don't know if I can do it.
Okay, so not necessarily from a talent standpoint, but from like
it, but I don't think I can do it.
Yeah, no,
you know what I
mean?
Yeah.
You ain't trying to be around for that long. What is it about it that makes it so like uncomfortable?
It's not even uncomfortable. It's just like, so when we shot 3G, bro, that was a 2-day shoot, back-to-back days. We was in that bitch for 9 hours. I'm talking like 6 to like 3 a.m. like both days. And I was like
6 to what?
Like 6 to like 2 a.m. Like something crazy.
That's
bro.
wild.
Yeah.
It's a shift.
And then when it was crazy because I did Dip and then 3G in the same like 4 or 5 days.
Oh, okay.
Hell yeah. And it made me be like, I'm not an actor. Not because I couldn't do it, but it's like, I don't think I could.
You really don't desire that.
I don't have the passion.
Yeah.
Same reason why I stopped hooping. Like I tell you, when them niggas was like, you don't want it bad enough, and I thought I was like, damn, I don't. Like, you know what I mean? Really don't want this shit bad enough. Like, I don't want to run at 6 a.m. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to do that. Like, I don't have the drive to do that. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
no, that makes perfect sense. That's funny. And so, you know, you kind of talk openly like online, and you know, if people get a chance to talk to you about like being on a tour and what you think you could bring to a tour and how you feel like you could, you know, do a pretty good job, all things considered. You've talked openly about like lobbying to try to get on like an Earth Gang or like JID tour. So like, what do you feel like you could bring to an environment like that?
Well, like I feel like I don't know. Honestly, I should be on a tour. I think I just have the energy. Like anybody that's been around me, just I don't know. I can't really explain it, but I just have it. Like, yeah, period. I do. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I would just bring life. I bring life to, I feel like, anywhere I'm at. So, like, being on a tour, I feel like I would definitely, like, contribute in a lot of different ways. Like, you know what I mean? Even as an opening act.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, just, I don't know. I would prep the crowd. I would get the shit right. You know what I mean? And I think about even one day maybe being on my own tour. Like, I just know I would do really well because I know how serious, like, I take that type of shit. And if you see me live, you know how hard I try. So, like, that's really it. I feel like it speaks for itself. But there's a lot of shit at play that isn't, like, you know, in optical view. So, like, I kind of just take it what it is. Like, you know, if it comes, it comes. It don't, it don't. Obviously, I'm still going to lobby myself for that shit. But I'm not stressing it. You know what I mean? I'm just waiting on it. Yeah. For sure.
And, I mean, it'll come. I've seen you live, like, a fucking bunch of times now. Probably more, honestly, at this point. I remember the first time I saw you live, it was for, I don't remember where it was, but it was one of my earlier times hearing you. It was like before I started like doing journalism stuff, but Milla sent me the flyer and you were on the lineup and Jazz and Cam the Artisan. It was somewhere in Atlanta.
This is about like 2018.
Yeah, it was a while ago for sure. And definitely like you've grown a lot too. Honestly, I feel like your sets are more, I don't want to say thoughtful, but like thoughtful. Like I feel like then you're what song is like, you know, kind of just like picking the songs like live and stuff. But now I feel like you've shown different IG lives and stuff, and you like practicing and stuff like that. So when did you kind of realize that performances needed that much like prep beforehand?
Well, I guess I always knew it was just like you talked about earlier, being nervous. It was a nervous thing.
Okay.
I think naturally, believe it or not, I'm an introverted person. I've molded myself into an extrovert, but like performing live in front of people is like, it is a hurdle. I'm just being honest. You know what I mean? And then after you get over the hurdle, you have to get good. Does that make sense?
It does.
So the beginning was a lot of me just, you know, just getting comfortable, just being in front of people. And then I started taking it to a different place. I saw how other niggas, like, rehearsing shit, and it made me want to, like, I don't know, really get to a different place. Because I felt like just, in my opinion, that's a separating factor as an act. Like, how well are you live? Because, like, people can love your music, all this shit, but, like, when they see you live, I feel like that's what makes people, like, remember you.
No, for sure.
So I just wanted to be that. And also figuring out what works for me. Because everybody's different, you know what I mean? So, like, I had to learn how to emulate myself. Yeah, it's weird to say, but like literally, you know what I mean? And lean into like my strengths, cause I can't dance, I have no rhythm. But like when I'm on stage, like I talk shit, like you know what I mean? I'm me, you know what I mean? Yeah. I lean into that, you know what I mean? To attempt to like relate to people, and I feel like that shit works to an extent. But I started taking it for real, like probably like 2019. Obviously, I was performing a lot before that point, but I feel like that's when I started like rehearsing.
Yeah.
In 2020, I was making niggas practice. Like niggas I was around, like we doing rehearsals. You know what I mean? Like like applying that type of energy.
No, for sure.
To a point where now, like even like just being honest in New York, I don't think I rehearsed for that show.
Okay.
And I easily had one of the better sets of my life. But because I have muscle memory now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
you put in the hours.
And I also understand moments. Like, you know what I mean? You probably shouldn't do that every show. But like sometimes like I know like, you know what I mean? Like facts.
And I feel like, I mean, and I'm sure you had some other type of I don't want to say responsibilities, but you had some other stuff to do besides
I did. I was trying to throw the show. Yeah.
So I think Out of Time is your best song to date from what I've heard.
I agree.
Yeah, and I heard you say that because we were standing around at David X's video shoot for Medicine. Shout out to him. And we were talking about, I don't remember the dude's name, but he worked in music somewhere. I forgot his name, but he was a cool guy. But we were talking about, like, we were just talking about your music and what, you know, we kind of gravitated towards. And I was like, no, it's probably that song. And they were like, you know, they named some other songs and stuff as well. And you kind of like came in later and was like, no, that's my best song. And I was just like, okay, that's cool. They kind of confirmed what I thought. So, like, why do you feel like that's your best song?
How it makes me feel. How it makes people feel. Like, I feel like it's the most I don't know. It's the most. It's just so. It just translated so well. Like I feel like a lot of times I have this disconnect where I'm doing something and it is good, but it's like it doesn't always translate.
Yeah.
So I feel like that was the most true to myself I've been, but also the best it's translated. Cause it's a very emo record. You know what I mean?
No, definitely.
It's also very unique, even the beat itself. Like you know what I mean? It's almost like the chords are like indie rock.
No, yeah.
And I kind of put like not nigga drums, but like close. You know what I mean? With like a what is it, like a 1/4 hat or some shit? Like I don't know. It's just like, and I'm singing in autotune.
Yeah.
Not even singing. I'm rapping in autotune, and I'm punch rapping. But it feels so genuine. Like everything I'm saying, because it was. You know what I mean?
Right.
To the place I was in, and I don't know if I've ever like hit that spot before. If that makes sense. So like I don't know. I've never made a song that made me feel like that. So like, especially understand how it made other people feel. I was like, this is easily my best song.
Oh, that's fine. And so the you posted the part of your performance in New York when you performed that song, and like just me watching it, having not been there, I was like, oh no, that's a moment. For
Even
real.
now, that shit, like when I watch that video, it gives me goosebumps.
Yeah, no, that's how it was. Like sitting at home, just bitter that I wasn't there to watch it. I was like, damn, like that looked like the moment for sure.
It was though.
That's crazy. So what was the energy like in the room? Like you kind of talked about the show as a whole, but just for that, like how did you feel in that?
Well, when I did Out of Time, like especially having Bobby there, because we made the beat together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So having him there live, amazing guitars, Bobby Gesh. But like having him there live, you know what I mean? Like it just added a whole nother element, like of like, I don't know. Everybody in the room felt like they was tapped in for real, because they was, you know what I mean? And like I bounced out a drum loop for him, and then he played the guitar on his looper. He has a looper, like he can loop his guitar on type shit.
Okay.
And like so, like hearing that shit live, it just felt so like right. You know what I mean? Like, and like I don't know. I just felt like I like elevated. Like I felt like I was somewhere else. Like I can't really explain it, but like it felt as good as it like as you might think it felt. Like literally, it was that. Like, and I don't think I've had an experience like that. It was just honestly overstimulating. Just being in New York, people actually fucking coming, and then doing that song, like it made me feel like that with who I made it with, and then like just like I don't know, feeling like I finally like figured it out to an extent. Like obviously, like I didn't figure everything out, but like I feel like I figured something out.
Yeah, it's like a milestone moment.
Yeah.
No, that's fire. And so, most recently we got the 3G video, and you were kind of talking about just a second ago about like being on set, and that was kind of like,
Nah, I dislike shooting videos. Not because I don't want to shoot video. I'm just saying like it's the least favorite part I have about like being a rapper. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just not. But like I don't know, like it's just work, and I like doing work. I think I just like the other side of shit more. I don't really like being in front of cameras that long.
Yeah.
I'm just not like into myself enough. Like to
yeah,
be
especially
honest.
saying your default is more introverted. It would make sense that like that's not the funnest part of being an artist. And so so you made that song with Mars. Did that song come about around the same time y'all did the songs with Awful Joke?
No. We made that song April, May.
Okay.
Maybe April. I'm trying to really remember. Essentially we had a session at Camp Spot. We had David pulled up.
Okay.
So David pulled out some Jubilee loops and he clicked that shit up. So it was him and Jube on the beat, and then Cam put that 808 down.
Yeah.
And I remember I told Mars I was drunk as fuck, but I was like, we finna make good song. We finna make good song, and I put the hook down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it kind of just turned into what it turned into.
No, that's fine. And so, you do a lot of songs with friends and stuff. So, do you feel like with this project, do you feel like there's any songs that you left off that are like, damn, that was like real hot, but it just didn't fit?
No.
No?
Yeah, the only shit I left off, like, I left off shit I liked, but I knew it wasn't right for it. And I feel like that's something that is maturing as an artist. That's something I've been getting better at. Like, it be records like, I had a song called Michelin I liked a lot. I made the beat to it, but at the same time, I was just like, nigga like me, I'm just gonna pick the better record, bro. It's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pick the better song. Yeah.
And do you feel like grow into having that self-awareness? Because I feel like a lot of people would be like in a spot where either they're too into themselves, where they're like, I like this song so much that it's going on there. Like I don't care what the fans think, but like I feel like, you know, I fuck with this song so much that everybody else is gonna like it to that same level. So how do you decide, I guess, in your thought process, like, I like this song a lot, but overall it's not gonna fit?
I feel like as an artist, even if you don't admit it, you always know. Does that make sense? You always know when like a record isn't like the one.
Yeah.
Because every song can't be the one. And you know when it is the one. You know what I mean?
So it's just
But a project can't all be the one. So it's always going to be filler music. But like my goal with music, when I put together projects, is like, I want to have records that you, like, people will remember. You know what I mean? Type shit. But I also want to have high quality filler music that somebody could still, it could still be somebody's favorite song. You know what I mean? Type shit. And then making sure that makes sense. You know what I mean? So when I say something like, oh, I didn't put this song in here because it didn't make sense, it don't because the song was bad. It just be like, this song will probably exist better. You know what I mean? In the past, I feel like I made decisions based on maybe how I felt internally, or honestly, just because I have an issue with external validation. Like, what I might pick songs that people like a lot, even though they don't make sense for a project. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just finding a balance between those 2 points, in my opinion.
Okay, for sure. Damn, that sounds difficult, honestly.
Oh, no, it's hell, bro. I love this shit, though.
Yeah. You kind of got to be built for it. And so when you shot the video for 3G, to double back to that, it seemed like it was made in a, like you kind of referenced earlier, with a bigger production process, team,
S2S Productions, shout out to niggas.
Yeah, for sure. So what was it like kind of moving out of your comfort zone of maybe it just being you and, you know, a person or two shooting videos kind of early on to like, this is like a team group effort as far as like working with multiple people?
Well, I guess being honest, I've done that shit before.
Mm-hmm.
It's just never really been like, well, just being, I shot Dip the same week. Right. So I saw that. Does that make sense?
Okay, so you got to dip your toe in before it was.
And then I did my own. Yeah. And I was like, damn, this shit sucked.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not having a good time out here. Yeah.
No, but that video did turn out hard though.
No, the video was amazing. Yeah. I did more, like, and when I say it sucks, I'm not talking about the video.
No, yeah,
like, everybody did a great job. I'm just saying, like, just being on set that long, I just don't like that shit.
Yeah.
Or like having to look at yourself that long, I don't like that shit. Even when I shoot videos, I don't look at the shots. I don't.
Oh, so you're not one of those people like, cameraman, let me.
I don't look at that shit.
Do that take again.
It's
I
too
look
much
like.
for me. I don't fuck with myself enough, so I'm gonna just be like, we should just cancel the video. You know what I mean? Like,
more likely to cancel than reshoot.
Right.
Damn, that's wild. So I saw you recently online, kind of posting how it feels and kind of talking about like, damn, like this is good, and like, I don't know how you feel about how it was perceived or whatever. For me, as a fan, I kind of chalked it up to just being eaten by 2020 and how it kind of like swallowed a lot of stuff because people couldn't perform and kind of amplify a lot of projects and stuff that way in that time. So why do you feel like it kind of wasn't, or do you feel like it wasn't received to the degree it should have been?
I mean, I feel like being honest critically is the best thing I put out. Like the ugly ass niggas always talk about being intentional and writing shit. Like I feel like that's probably the most intentional body work I've ever put out. Cohesiveness, all that ugly ass shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
It was just like niggas don't want to hear that shit. You know what I mean? It's not like in a bad way. I'm just saying like, I don't know. I feel like people hear that shit when you have a platform, but especially as a local act, it's hard to translate like that. Now, like you said, project probably would have did better if I could perform it for real and all that shit. But at the same time, like, music was fucking sad. Just being honest. I think it was good, but I also feel like shit was sad. So like, it makes sense like why it didn't do amazing. I do feel like it will live very well though.
Okay,
does that make sense? And like everything is different. Like some projects you make, people get it immediately. In my experience, most of the music I put out, niggas didn't get till later. Just being honest. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
I feel like this past one, the Lower Self, is the first time niggas got it in real time. And I feel like that's relative to when I made the music.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
No, for sure. And that's what you were saying a second ago. And then for me, it's kind of just works because it's like that tape, because it doesn't feel current at all, I like can turn to it and it feels like beyond like where I'm at a time, and it kind of takes me to a time, if that makes sense. So that's why I like it. I still listen
That's why I
to
like
it
it too.
regularly.
I listened to it today on the way here, honestly. I'm like, this shit good. It's just like, I don't know, especially where I'm at now. Like, I'm real big on tempo, and I know that whole project was just a slower, raw, emotional. And like, if you into that, obviously you'll like that. But most people would be like, this is a lot.
No, yeah, it kind of is high key. The themes and such, yeah, it's a little heavy.
It's kind of heavy,
it's a little heavy. You don't necessarily want to. I get it. It's hard to fit it. It fits a mood. It don't fit like your day to day. Just like
that's the slow ride home after some bullshit. So like, I get it. You know, I ain't mad.
No, for sure. That's funny. And so, you're in the hoops about as much as me, if not more, to be honest. And so you got to check out any basketball this season so far?
I have. It's been looking ugly, honestly.
No, it's a weird season. The Jazz are winning games. LeBron's team's terrible. KD's team's terrible.
I knew the Lakers were going to be bad.
Steph's team's not off to a good record. But, we know
they look terrible too, bro.
Now.
They're like 2-7, 3-7, some shit. Yeah, it has been wild. I mean, shit evens out by like December usually, in my opinion. You know what I mean? You'll see who actually type shit. But also, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like the league is changing in a sense. Like, you can't do what you used to do. I feel like niggas used to just throw a bunch of niggas around, like 2 niggas, and it'd be like, all right, y'all figure that shit out. Like, people are too good now. Continuity is becoming a lot more important than it has been in the past, like, decade, in my opinion. You know what I mean?
No, because I feel like the NBA talent is as high as it's ever been.
So you can't just throw whoever around whoever, like,
and feel like it's just gonna work because they're good.
They have to fit, and they have to play together.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I feel like, I don't know. We was talking about this earlier, but like, I feel like sports media has gotten really toxic too. Don't really let nobody hoot no more. After one game, it'd be like just this crazy ass allegation of like what this team is or this player is, but it's just like, it's just not how basketball works. I feel like if you play any sports, you know that's not how it works. So like, it's been interesting to watch, but I haven't been as into this season as I wanted to be, if that makes sense.
No,
due to all the drama and all the like weird shit. Yeah,
and it's early. I feel like the little bit I have been able to see, Luka's crazy, and I'm gonna need them to trade for somebody because they wasting time. Honestly,
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I mean,
think you need an all-star.
I feel like Christian Wood is averaging 23 and 10, bro. So I'm just saying, like, who can play with Luka? Same thing. It's the LeBron effect, bro.
Yeah,
like,
okay.
if you on the ball that hard, like, who can play with you? For real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And look the same.
And look the same.
Because that's the thing. It's the same thing with LeBron. They'd be like, oh, this nigga not as good. They'd be like, nah, bro, he don't got the ball no more. You know what I mean? Like, because they was shitting on Russ. Like, oh, Russ suck. He'd be like, no, Russ don't suck, bro. If you play with the ball in your hands for 10 years and you get on a team and they tell you to sit in the corner and like you're not effective, like that's stupid.
Yeah.
That's not what you do.
And that kind of makes sense why he's been playing better since he's been off the bench and the minutes are staggered.
But if you notice, they're still fucking losing.
Right.
You know why? Because the team isn't really put together.
Not put together, yeah. I feel like I could be a GM, bro, one day. So what do you feel like, what are you looking forward to this season? Like, who do you feel like maybe they haven't started
Milwaukee
strong?
is running through the East. I don't really see nobody beating them. I like Cleveland a lot, though. You know what I mean?
Low key.
And I'm a Miami fan. I fought with them. I'm worried we ain't got to know. Just being honest. Like, because Giannis look like he on a mission. And Chris Middleton hasn't even come back yet.
Which is the wild part.
Like something got stolen from them last year because he got hurt. Just being honest. So, like, I see them running through the East. I don't see Boston beating them. I don't. Like, it wouldn't be crazy. I wouldn't be like,
yeah, it wouldn't be surprising necessarily.
But I don't see Boston beating them. You know what I mean? Like, and in the West, like, the West is a fucking shit show, honestly.
No, honestly, I'm not impressed with anybody because, like, Kawhi won't play. Like, I don't know what's up with him.
I'm going to be honest with you, bro. He's coming off an ACL injury.
But it's been like.
Listen, though, but he also has a deteriorating quad. We don't say that shit, but his quad has been deteriorating for years since San Antonio. Since Zaza stepped on his foot, dead ass though, no bullshit.
Really?
Yes. If you notice, since then he'd never played a whole season.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like he has one of those long-term injuries that they just manage over the season.
So you don't think the low managing is like some cute shit? It's like absolutely necessary.
No, I think he needs it. I think he needs it. And he's not a regular season player, so he don't give a fuck about that shit.
Yeah.
He don't give a fuck about being an all-star or like averaging 28. He said, "I'm in the playoffs. I got me." You know what I mean? Type shit. So I'm not even gonna rule the fucking Clippers out because I feel like they're solid, and I don't know. I really like Ty Lue as a coach. I feel
like he's top 5 for sure.
Not top 3, high key. Just being honest, what he works with. I
Constantly.
feel like a lot of coaches get gassed, but they be having, you know what I mean? Like Eric Spoelstra, Ty Lue, like it's like he had the #1 record last year. Nobody gave a fuck, but like it's the truth.
But it's
They had the #1 record in the East last year, and both their best players was hurt half the year each. You know what I mean? Type shit. And even the Clippers, a similar situation where they snuck in when they shouldn't have.
They shouldn't have been in the mix at all.
And even the year before, you think when they went to the Western Conference Finals without Kawhi, when he got hurt in the second round, that's coaching. You know what I mean? Type shit. Like even when they shit on Steve Nash, you know what I mean? I'm not the biggest fan of him as a coach, but at the same time, it's like I don't know who does a good job in that situation.
Yeah, he was dealt a raw hand for sure.
You know what I mean? You come into a situation where you got young talent, you got 2 stars, then they trade all your young talent for another star, and that star gets fucking once out, gets traded again. You know what I mean? Type shit.
Yeah.
Then you playing with essentially just KD, because Kyrie part-time, and then the next year, some other shit happened. Kyrie not playing. Ben Simmons come back, who you traded James Harden for, and he obviously don't look right because he hasn't played in fucking 2 years.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know how you do better. You know what I mean? And that's not me saying he's a great coach. I'm just saying, like, I don't know who does better in that spot. Yeah.
And they just filled their coaching spot. We thought it was going to be Boston coach Ime Udoka, but it turns out to be one of their assistants, Jaquez Vaughn.
I mean, that shit is too soon. And at the same time, like, I don't know. Ime was on some hot shit. Nets already on some hot shit. So hiring Ime, it probably wasn't a good idea. Just being honest.
Nah, it wasn't.
In theory, yeah, it's good.
He in a purely like simulation mode for sure. It would have been good.
2K, yeah, but like not in real life. Hell no.
Yeah, he need to chill for a minute. Damn, that's crazy. So you also play basketball in real life. You know, you try to get out a couple days a week. What does that usually look like, and what does it kind of do for you in terms of just, you know, keeping you even?
Well, like, I feel like during the pandemic, I stopped like being active. So the past 3-4 months, it's just been an effort to just be outside, like try to like stay active, stay in like some type of shape. You know what I mean? And also feel like basketball is one of probably the healthiest coping mechanism I have. So you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
trying to like lean into that because it's actually good for me. You know what I mean?
For sure.
And I love basketball, so like it's been lit. You know what I mean? That, you know, I'm not no high level player, but like,
yeah,
I be out there hooping. Yeah.
So, do you? Because I think about this. You know how they have like the celebrity games and stuff, and it'd be like a person nobody ever heard, like this weird senator or whatever playing in the celebrity games. You ever thought about like, damn, it'd be cool if I was like lacing up in like an all-star weekend celebrity game setting?
I thought about it. I'm low-key too nervous though. I don't know if I can do it on TV. I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I got it.
I feel like if you got the invite, you would just do it anyway.
I would do it, but I'd be scared for sure. Yeah. Yeah. It does sound cool though. Yeah. I would definitely do it, but I would be scared. Yeah.
But do you feel like you would perform well, or do you feel like the nerves would be like,
I don't know, bro. Honestly, that's why I stopped hooping when I was younger. I played basketball like in middle school.
Yeah.
But I started playing late, like maybe in 5th grade. So I wasn't really getting a lot of burn. When I did, I looked scared because I didn't play enough. You know what I mean? But I also now no lie, like performing rap music has made me a lot more confident. So
That's
like
true.
I think I could maybe do it. I don't know if I would. I can't promise I would do great, but like I'd probably get a few buckets.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
Do you have like a celebrity you would like to give a bucket to? Like not because you dislike them or anything, but just because it would just be like fun to you. Maybe you look up to this person.
I would fuck Drake up. Oh God, I would shit on him. We could play ones.
Hey, Drake be working out, bro. You think
I know he be working out.
You think you got it?
I mean, you know I'm solid, bro. I'm at least 200, even if you working out.
For
I know.
sure.
Yeah, so it don't even matter. I just feel like, nah.
What
I be
move
seeing
you
him
go-
hoop. I be like, nah.
What move you go hit him with?
Boy, I would probably do Drake crazy, honestly. Ooh, I probably hit that. I catch that bitch on the right wing. Probably, I give him one of them head fakes. You know what I'm saying, right?
It's wild because I know what you're
You know
talking
what I'm
about.
I hit him with a jab. He probably moved. You know what I mean? Type shit. I go to the elbow, right?
Right.
I take a 1 to the elbow and I to the rim. Half eight, I'm going to the hoop, bro. Don't feel like you can guard me. Being honest, I don't think a lot of rappers can guard me. Just being honest, some of them niggas can hoop though. I think Shaq West can hoop.
Nah, he look like he could hoop for real.
Fuck around, Dave East probably can hoop. Like, you know, J. Cole can hoop. Like, them niggas can hoop. I'm just talking about, like, the regular niggas. Nah, I'm shitting on
The
them.
niggas who just
Yeah, I'm shitting on them. I'm shitting on
for
them.
sure.
Yeah.
That's funny. So, what we working on nowadays? So you got to release your project. You kind of got to see some feedback, perform it a few times. You got anything you're looking forward to in the future, music wise?
I'm working on another project, I guess, in reality. Something that will come out next year. Yeah.
For sure. Do you feel like it'll be kind of, you know, what do you kind of want to, I guess, say in this album that maybe is different from the last one or maybe the same as the last one?
That's a good question. I don't. What I'm gonna say, I feel like it's gonna be my current disposition, like after like project. You know what I mean? Just where I'm at currently, and also like I feel like it'll be a bit more fun than the other one. Yeah, and that's how I feel about it. Yeah,
For sure.
we'll still some emo shit because you niggas know how I get.
Dope. Shit. Well, that's all I got. You want to say anything to the people? Anything you want to?
Yo, shout out my nigga Bird, bro. I'm in this bitch off the Luna. Tequila ruined my life. Yeah, have a good day.
All right. Appreciate y'all. Be sure to tune in, stream Lower Self, watch some videos. We got some good ones lined up. And that's it. Appreciate y'all. See y'all next time.